Hi, this is Derek doing another review of a horror movie for HorrorNerds.com. Today I will be talking about Rites of Spring. It is a 2011 horror movie. Actually, I had just seen it the other night, and it was directed and written by Padraig Reynolds. Apologies if I've just butchered your name, sorry. Also, it stars Anessa Ramsey, Catherine Randolph, Sonny Marinelli, and a whole host of other individuals. Now, this movie, you know, I can go into it, I can say about how terrible it is, but I actually liked it. I'm a big fan of Children of the Corn. It had a little bit of that. I liked the movie Husk. It tried to be like that. And, you know, this movie has two essential storylines here. You have two girls, Rachel, her friend, you know, they're get a flat, you know, next thing you know, they're in a van being taken somewhere. They wake up, they're tied up in a barn. And some creepy guy comes in there and asks one of them if they're clean. And then, you know, unfortunately, I thought asking that it was going to go somewhere really creepy, but it didn't. I won't give away what exactly happens. But basically, one of the girls escapes, and she ends up on a farm, I guess, close to this one, where she meets up with the other half of the storyline, which is essentially about a group of kidnappers that plotted to take the child of a prominent businessman. They do so, end up killing the businessman's wife in the process, and hide out on the farm, which, you know, one of the girls that escaped was, you know, found on by these kidnappers. And then after that, it's a mishmash of these two storylines and a killer by the name, I guess, of Wormface, as he's credited, so to speak. Aptly named so for the weird mummy-esque wrapped thing around his head with worms crawling out of it. I don't know. We can look at this movie on a couple different levels. You know, it's a horror movie. I mean, it's, you know, horror movies always get a hugely bad rap as trying, you know, by terrible movie critics that are expecting the world and, you know, some kind of a Steven Spielberg adaptation. But at the end of the day, you know, horror movies meant for a lot of different things, or can be, but as long as it scares you and makes you feel something, then it's good. And that's sort of my rule with all films. Doesn't make you feel anything. And this one did, sort of. I enjoyed it. You know, the acting isn't really that great. I mean, there's definitely no names here of any repute, so you're not going to get no star-studded performance by any means, but that's okay, because for a lot of these individuals, you know, just sort of breaking into film, or, you know, just trying to be in a movie, it's not half bad. You know, put yourself in their shoes. Could you really do any better? On top of that, you know, this director who also wrote the movie, or I should say the screenplay, you know, I don't really think it's that bad either for trying. And there's plenty of, you know, gore scenes in it. You know, nothing too crazy. It's going to make you think, oh my God, it looks so real. I mean, it did sort of remind me of a horror student film kind of project. But I will say this, there is a moment where I felt like, you know, if I was in this position, what would I do? It'd be absolutely insanely scary to be in that position. I think for a movie like this to work for you, you have to put yourself in their shoes. You have to buy the whole plot. I don't think the two storylines needed to be there. It was almost like seeing two different films, mixing them together, hoping that they would match up in the end. They don't. The twists, or so to speak, that are in the film are really convoluted and unnecessary. I would have liked to seen this more of a slasher, with like Wormface kind of, maybe, who knows, could have established a whole genre here. We could have had our next Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees, but don't really get to see enough or feel enough for this character to even care, because again, the movie gets so wrapped up in its alternate, you know, dual plot lines that, you know, we don't really get to see any mythology built in this film. It's a shame, because there could have been a lot here. Also too, I will say that, you know, with the movie, the one thing that really made me like it more so is that it is kind of a throwback to older films. You know, clearly Padraig Reynolds, you know, watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, even the last bit of the movie is sort of a direct homage or ripoff, depending on, I guess, your perspective. But I love those movies. So when I was watching this, I had a smile on my face, you know. My mom is a big B film lover, and she thoroughly enjoyed it as well, and sort of made me enjoy it in the process, because, you know, she's kind of where I get my love for these type of films, and sort of gives me the soft heart instead of the critic's heart to just tear it apart, which can easily be done in this film. But I'm not going to do that. go watch this movie. It was actually enjoyable. I think it gets more of a bad rap than it deserves. It's definitely a worthy, I would say, first-time effort. I don't know if I'm right on saying if it's a first-time effort or not with this film, with the directors or some of the actors and actresses, but felt like a first-time effort. And just for that reason alone, I'm not going to go hard on them because, this isn't, Tom Cruise doing his 255th movie where I do expect a certain level of acting from him. These are, people wanting to have fun with the idea of horror, and I'd say they accomplished it. So well done. Rites of Spring is a good movie. Go check it out. This is Derek with another review for HorrorNerds.com. We'll be talking to you.